Starting in 1982, AICC's Hall of Fame has honored our most distinguished members, but this year we're expanding our horizons with a truly unique individual. He's
a leader,
talented,
relentless,
authentic,
visionary,
fearless,
very exciting.
he's always on.
Rottweiler. If he bites down on it, you may have to shoot him to get him to let go.
But most of all, he's Greg Tucker. And how did it begin?
My start in this business was a dare. I was dared to work with a gentleman by the name of Bill Hannon, who owned Bay Cities. I kind of looked at him as one of my mentors and another father of mine, and I think he looked at me as I always say, his illegitimate bastard child.
After years as the company's leading salesperson, Greg was named president in 1995.
Basically, I saw a lot of innovation, even back then, if you could imagine.
When Bill Hannon passed away, Greg became chairman of Bay Cities.
So we saw that there was an opportunity in graphics, there was an opportunity building displays, and an opportunity working in a retail environment. We bought a one-color screen printer and learned how to print process on one color. And it was frightening, it was slow, but we learned how to print. It was baptism by fire, moving a brown box company that was predominantly into large furniture boxes into the graphic world and into building displays.
And he managed the transition into a full ESOP. What do those closest to him think?
I think he's an asshole.
But seriously,
he wants everyone to better themselves, to improve themselves and to constantly learn.
He wants to take everybody to the next level.
His motivation and what drives him really stems from his desire to make sure that he's supporting the people that work for him and not the other way around.
Someone passionate about developing people, I think he goes out of his way to give of himself.
He really, really empowers you to live up to the expectation you didn't even have in yourself.
They don't work for me, I work for them. And you could say I'm their cleaner, I'm their lead blocker, but that's my goal. My goal is to propose to them and give them a runway for them to take off, both financially, career-wise, education-wise, growth-wise, and people-wise.
And helping people be the best versions of themselves that they can be. And he does that a lot of times through challenging your norms and beliefs.
Well, his way of acting at Bay Cities is he will drive you very hard. He wants you to continuously learn, but there's always that funness to it.
He brings that humor, but with a point to get across.
Greg said many times that he wants to make people millionaires. Being an employee-owned company, that would be the purpose in that.
All the fish seemingly are swimming in the right direction. Our culture is one of owners, not one of employees.
Well, everybody, I think, learns from him. And he does care about everybody around him.
He regards his people with respect, and that and his creativity drives the company.
When I first started with Bay Cities, I believe we were all of maybe 50 people. Every year we grew 10% of people. Now we're sitting at collectively, I believe, 230 people.
And it's always in somebody else's best interest. It's not his. He legitimately is after what's in your best interest or what's in the best interest of the organization as a whole.
Bentonville to us is, we have a tremendous amount of project managers, supply chain managers. We have a design center there. We have what we call our innovation center there and a sales center there. So they're really sufficing Walmart, but not only Walmart. If you think about that giant magnet, the world's largest retailer, brings with it over 10,000 suppliers. After Bentonville, we then understood the retail world. So we started playing with Costco. We started playing with Target and Kohl's.
And the expansion continued with ventures, including Encore Sheets, and Royal Bay Fulfillment.
Just a clear-thinking partner that not only cares about himself, but cares about all the partners as well.
He surrounds himself with and nurtures talent and creativity.
Design is where his true passion is and where it starts in our organization.
And he's always pushed that. He's always said that at any event that he's in.
And it's one that's not only embraced here at Bay Cities, but it's endorsed, and it's endorsed from the top down.
We worked hard, we played hard, but we bonded together as a family.
It's a bit crazy as we have one hell of a Christmas party. We'll take 100,000 square feet and make it like a movie, and people just have a blast.
That's been fun, been on boats, on dance parties.
We have picnics that we have well in excess of 150, 200 people at. We do a day at the races, which will start again, where we all go to Santa Anita and we stupidly bet on horses and barbecue and picnic there. But those are some of the things we do. In the plant, we have what's called a hoopla, which is nothing more than a boisterous, loud party.
When you look at our core values for Bay Cities itself, fun is one of our core values in there for that reason.
2019, I believe, was the year that we actually finally hit $100 million in sales. So that was a big deal for us.
Well, he championed for many years a fundraiser out in Southern California for the ICPF that was not unapologetically called the Booze Cruise.
One of the items that we did at one point was a river rafting trip. There was a lot of team building there, just getting to know each other outside of the work environment. Greg had a shipment of those squirter guns come in that you'd use at the pools where you suck up the water and shoot everybody with. And he basically bought enough for everybody to have them, so as we're floating around the river, everybody's a target.
I think that was very important for our culture.
If you're not having fun, then Greg somehow isn't involved.
He certainly has his own sense of style.
Well, he says he taught me how to wear Hawaiian shirts.
There needed to be one adult wearing a white shirt just so that it added credibility.
He's a great spokesman for our industry in that he's been on several, not only national stages in terms of packaging related programs, but also in Europe.
His commitment and dedication both to the AICC, the ICPF, and also to the FBA is part of what makes Greg Greg.
On the local level here, our local regional AICC has been completely active, totally supportive for decades.
It's going to go back to Bill Hannon. I was a young kid. He threw me in a board meeting. And this is back when people like Hardy Sanders and people like Bill Flynn were formulating the ICPF.
He looked out for the industry as a whole, not just Bay Cities.
Works extremely hard for our industry.
He wants the industry to advance to levels that we've never seen before.
So that we all understand what is happening in our industry and how does he continue to make an impact.
He believes in the independent. He believes there's enough room in any market for any number of independents.
We were looking to expand into California. I had called him to kind of get his lay of the land of the market, and he said, come on out. I'll do everything I can to introduce you to who I can in our company to help you do what you need to do to be successful out here.
That's why he's being honored today with the Hall of Fame. It's well deserved.
When you think about the contributions that Greg's made to the industry, to the associations, to the printing schools like Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
By virtue of his advisory status at Cal Poly, became a proponent for ICPF's work at that school.
He saw the opportunity to push education into our industry.
And he also has a great eye on the future.
He's of course been very generous with AICC. He's been very generous with ICPF.
Cal Poly's packaging program is very unique. Not just unique in the US, but globally. Not just doing one thing for us. He's a mentor in every aspect.
We started doing that many, many years ago, and if you think about it today, we can woo them into this industry. It's probably one of the greatest things with foresight ever put together, both by the AICC and the Fiberbox Association.
How did we learn that Greg was ready to lead AICC?
After an intense winter board meeting, the Frishes, Birds, Carmens, and Tuckers, we rented a 53-foot catamaran in the BVI's. One day after a long day of mingling with the locals at the Soggy Dollar Bar, Greg asked if he could try his hand at being the captain. After I looked into his eyes, I could tell that he was ready. Greg got so excited with that opportunity that he took off before his first mates could untie us. The boat jerked, the anchor line snapped. When Greg became chairman of the AICC in 2014 or 15, I presented him a plaque with part of the anchor rope attached and his very first captain's hat. Greg, I felt, was totally prepared to take over as the leadership of the AICC.
Always at the forefront of technology and leading us in new directions.
We've changed in many, many ways when it comes to innovation and technology. We are a custom packaging and display company, but we're so much more.
Now AR can be manifested and buried into a QR code, and you don't need an app. We can allow those manipulations to happen from a QR code. Now when we place QR codes on signage or on packaging, we can allow that package to come alive and tell a story.
It ain't no box business no more, I'll tell you that.
We're morphing into a data analytics company where we're proofing out its design using eye tracking mechanisms, analytics that tell us this is for sure going to sell. I think that's a part of where I believe packaging can go and where we see our part in that supplier and retailer relationship, that we really add more value than just the display.
And so, for his many accomplishments, wildly successful approaches to business, support of our industry as a whole, we are proud to name Greg A. Tucker as the newest member of AICC's Hall of Fame.